Lucia Green and the fun run for Say Yes to Hope. When Kevin Hungerford told me last year that he wanted to do this for Yes, I said, oh, he said, we'll raise several $1,000s for you. And I said, I've done a few fundraisers and it hasn't worked out that way. And so it was super exciting last year to see the totals, and even more so this year. $19,210 pays for almost 1,000 survivor bags to go out. And when you think of the people behind that and the impact that you're making, it's pretty great. So thank you very much. My advocacy journey has been improbable, and making it possible has been a lot in part to all of you in here. I've learned that sky is the limit for hope, and that even when you think there is no hope, if you just grab onto those little letters a few more times, that it makes a huge, huge impact. One of the things that Sirtex and Sirtex has done for me is make my family possible. And for those of you who haven't heard my story before, I received Sirtex 11 years ago in January. I had been told that there was nothing else that could be done, that there were no more treatment options, and that I was terminal, and that I should come to grips with that. And Ronnie and I planned my funeral. We picked out a casket, we told our kids, and we planned for me to die. I happened to talk to a social worker at Cancer Care, and he told me that I didn't have the power to choose how I was going to die, but I very much had the power to choose how I was going to live. And he sent me a picture of hope in the sand, and that picture really changed my life. I grabbed onto that picture and I looked at it every day, and I was able to have Sirtex in part because of another friend who lived in Wisconsin states away. He told me about the procedure. I was a candidate, and the rest of it's history. I literally went from dying from cancer to living fully in spite of it because of Sirtex. And when you think of having chemo and procedures and treatments and all of the side effects that come with that, it's very challenging. It changes the dynamics of your family, it changes the dynamics of your day, and everything just kind of goes upside down for a while. And so to have a treatment that literally is contained in a little bowl that can fit in the palm of your hands is just absolutely astonishing to me. And I'm grateful for it every day. Without this treatment, my family picture would be much, much different. I would not have watched my daughters grow up. They would have grown up without a mom. Ronnie and I would have just celebrated our 30th anniversary. And the little girl that's kissing that horse would not have had us as a family. We adopted her 5 years ago, July 19th, and she changed our lives, but I know because of these little magic beads, her life has been changed too. And so, thank you for making this possible for me and for all the patients that you make it possible for every single day. Not only did my family dynamics change, but my personal dynamics changed because I went from living a very private battle to sharing it in very public places. I was asked to be on the Today Show, and so I shared it in front of millions of viewers. And then Desiree asked me to come to Capitol Hill. We were talking about the C2616 reimbursement code earlier, and it was in jeopardy right after I was diagnosed. And so on my birthday in 2006, I went to Capitol Hill for the first time in my life on a trip without Ronnie, and Desiree convinced me that I could share my story with congressmen and that it would make a difference. And because of all the collaborative voices that were there, I think that's a good reason that breakthrough therapy is still covered. And so Desiree changed a lot of things for me. After that, I shared my story on Capitol Hill again and again. And then I became involved with Livestrong, and I talked again to Desiree one day while we were on lobbying on Capitol Hill. I said, no one talks about living with liver tumors. Everyone talks about the doom and the gloom that surrounds it. And it was very sobering because even as you're going into support groups, it was kind of depressing. And I wanted to change that. She said, I think that's a great idea. And so yes, Y90, education. education and support was born. I went to a Live Strong Summit, and they told us to create a personal action plan. And many of the action plans were about advocacy, were about research funding. I think I was the only one there that was talking about living with terminal cancer. And so we learned how, during that meeting, to form a 501c3, how to put together plans and budgets and all different kinds of things. And that is how Yes was born. Our mission is to provide resources, support, and hope to those who are diagnosed with liver cancer. Again, that's from colorectal cancer, from any type of cancer that is spread to the liver. As we talk about fighting for the undertreated patient, I think I would like to now add to the most powerful resource in all of healthcare is the patient voice. Wow, we're fighting for that undertreated patient. And we do that every day with collective voices, patients, physicians, you guys. And when you look around a room and you can look at almost every single person and say that person has had an impact on your life and on the impact of the lives of those people that you're trying to help, that says a lot about the work that each and every one of you are doing. Because I know that I text some of you at midnight and you're still out there working and you're texting me right back. And I appreciate that. It means a lot to the patients. I'm going to show a short video on Yes, and you'll kind of see what we're doing as a collective group and how that is bringing our voices all together with yours.
It was a total shock when I found out I had cancer because my colon had ruptured and it took them a long time to figure out what was wrong with me.
There's no easy way to fight cancer. I had 13 sessions of chemo lasting over 26 weeks.
If I had somebody reach out for me when I was first going through this, it'd have been so much easier on me. There's a lot of people out there that just don't know anything, and I'm just one of those people.
I'm here at Synergy, which is a multidisciplinary conference, and I've had the good fortune and opportunity to work with Suzanne and the Yes Foundation on patient education, and it's really a great idea for an advocacy group to be here to remind the physicians of the patients that they take care of and sort of disseminate the information which isn't getting out there.
As a patient, you realize that there's more than just one way to approach cancer. There might be, multiple ways because you might have multiple tumors, and being aware of what's out there can make a world of difference to each individual.
And finally, I got some resources. In a minute, it was Suzanne Lindley who got me hooked up with the Methodist Hospital here in Dallas. So I'm getting some real help now.
The ASCO GI meeting is really the premier meeting in the world for those of us that are interested in GI cancers and their treatment.
It's really one of the premier events, and I'm really glad to see that Yes is here to share in that experience.
We're so happy that Yes is here to help us understand from the patient perspective, but also we can take this information back to our organizations and connect our patients with Yes.
Liver Tumors is just a fabulous organization, helping cancer patients, bringing cancer patients together, and bringing hope and happiness to all of us.
Unless you're going through this, it's really hard to understand. And then when we all connect with each other, we speak the same language, we feel the same feelings. And it helps to deal with your fears.
I owe it to celebrate life, and you know what? Not just going to the Emmys, but to be able to say, if I'm feeling good, and I can work with Suzanne, I can give something back.
Whenever you come with Suzanne, she always has elements of surprise for us. And she does it for not only me, she does it for everyone.
Grant reaches out and finds somebody like Suzanne on the internet, and it's opened up door after door of hope and information and support. And weekends like this where we can all get together, it's just so beneficial for all of us.
I was able to get the Sirtex radiation into my liver and killed 2 of the tumors. Several have not changed, and there has been no new growth.
We met with doctors down in Chicago, and we learned about Sirtex, which had never been brought up. And now it's like we have a map, and we know what we can do next.
There's such a comfort to come to events where there's other survivors, and it's not that misery loves company, but the first time you meet them, you feel like you've known them your whole life. You've got that bond.
Say yes to hope.
And we say yes to hope.
Yes to hope.
Say yes to hope.
Dis oui à l'espoir.
Yes to hope.
Absolutely yes to hope.
Say yes to hope. Say yes to hope.
Say yes to hope, hold fast, and shine brightly.
So we get to do a lot of fun things, but interspersed in that is a lot of difficult things too. And so that's what our survivor line is for. We took in 6,105 new calls since the National Sales Meeting last year. Of those 6,105 new calls, 359 of them, or 395 of them, received SIRTX. So if you use the math that we used earlier at 1.5 treatments per patient, that means that we help patients with over 535 treatments. And I think for a small organization and one treatment, that is a pretty amazing feat. We not only talk to them from the start of treatment, but then beyond. We get to match them patient to patient so that they can talk to others who are having the same treatment, same side effects, and then, what's the next step forward. And because of your help, because of the physicians that are so involved, we're all able to help together. And we do a lot of things other than that, but I'm going to touch on 5 today. The first one is advocacy. And we take our voices to Capitol Hill and we liaison with about 5 different organizations: National Coalition for Cancer Survivorship, Fight Colorectal Cancer, Rally for Medical Research, Right Scan, Right Time. And it's just a way for us to share our voices in a paradigm that many people don't get to see. When we go to Capitol Hill, often, more than not than often, the people there can't believe that we've got stage 4 cancer and we're actually going to Capitol Hill and we're sharing our stories. I think they expect us to have a foot in the grave on a banana peel and be slipping slowly forward. And instead, we're showing them that we're really, truly out there fighting and living, and that there's a story behind those lives. Awareness campaigns. This last year, we did Help Together, Hope Together, Heal Together. And each month, we've formed a new little flyer that goes out, and it's shared with social media. It's shared in a few different magazines. And our Hope Together, the TWO that you see there, that was in February, we put out a video and we asked people to send in their pictures of Hope Together, and a number of you did that as well. But we received over 10,000 photos of people who were sharing Hope Together. So it's creating awareness about liver tumors and the fact that they can be beat. Another thing that we can do is work with you together with oncology nurses. And Mark Sadlowski was the first person who had this idea, and he brought me into Tennessee to share an Oncology Nursing Society, and then Dave Shadid and Ron Liu working with him in September for a meeting, Emily Sweeney. And one of the things that does is let us share our story and our resources at that oncology nurse meeting. And we've stayed in contact with a number of those nurses, and they're actually the ones that the patients want to talk to, sometimes even more than the oncologist, sometimes more than the interventional radiologist. And when you're asking for a step forward, a path forward, it's a very clear-cut way to get that message out. And so if any of you want to work with us, we have other survivors besides me who can share their stories as well. If you want someone in the local area, we're more than happy to get someone at that meeting or even help you put together a meeting in essence. Our video series, it is a fabulous way to share a patient's story. And in the past, we've done some little lunch and learns, but instead of that, if you have an interventional radiologist or an identified patient story, John Broom can fly out, he can do the story, and take a video with both the patient and with the interventional radiologist. And it's a great way to get local media attention and also to share it through our social networks. And those, even Sirtex has been able to share a number of the survivor videos on the website. But the thing we're here to talk about today is the survivor bag. And when you have the perspective of us as a patient and you're wanting some action, the survivor bags is one clear-cut way of providing that action and that perspective.